Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Admiral Dingeling, and I'm terribly sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Now he's in the Izmail, the tier 6 Russian battleship. He's on the New Dawn in a 3-point domination game. It's a tier 7 battle, but it's only 2 tier 7s. There is no destroyer, but there's 2 carriers. Now, also I should note that he said this was the first battle in this ship for him, and he only has a 3-point cap. So, he doesn't even have like superintendent, so he only has 3 heals despite using premium consumables. But you know, I mean, it's well, maybe it's mid tier. It's a lower tier. Well, however you wanna classify mid or low tier. So it shouldn't be that problematic. Now we have a nice force here at the A cap with not much resistance, which means there is a potential for the friendlies to get the A cap. Without a destroyer it will be hard for any team to capture anything here, so we will see how that goes. Currently both teams are down 1 cruiser, so nothing too problematic has happened just yet. Now considering the 2 carriers, you might wanna be somewhat close to some other ships in case the carrier has an interest in you. So currently Admiral here is close to the Duke, and well, I mean, there's still the October Revolution around here. We have a New York who seems to be just charging right into the city. Then again, he has some islands here to use. Mostly I think the friendly team will just hopefully capture the A-cap and potentially then get some crossfires on the enemy ships here, depending on what the enemy team does. And well, that's very nice salvo. I mean, it's always nice when RNGesus smiles upon you, I guess. And I like that in chat he also seems to be confused that he just devastated an enemy battleship there. So let's just see. We have Izmail here again, showing broadside. Let's see what happens. Yeah. RNG give it, RNG take it away. So right now he's staying close to the other battleships here, and he's probably still contemplating pushing it. If he pushes here too aggressively, he will probably just end up in a crossfire between the guys here at C and maybe those here at B. And look at that, we have Kirov here, broadside, not moving. It looks like a reasonable dispersion, so what will happen? Well, got the Citadel there. Also some overpens, but you know, not too shabby, not too shabby. Now it looks like the friendlies here aren't in the mood to take the lead, so maybe he's just going to turn in and try to push. Now, he can't push it too much into the center, but if he keeps this push more like in the 9 line or something like that, he probably can approach this cap with reasonable chance of success. Like in the lower tiers, the ships also don't have the immense ranges, so a lot of those ships here in the center might not be that big of a threat, because like he's just showing broadside to this Colorado, Congo and so on, and Britannia. And well, obviously Congo and Colorado, I would think is firing range, they could retaliate. So he has to be a little bit careful here, but would be a lot worse in higher tiers, I guess. So far it doesn't look like those ships have too much of an interest in him, so he can possibly focus on the guys at sea. He's trying to get probably towards this island. And once he makes it around here, then he only has to angle in one direction. Considering there is also a push from A coming, that's probably distracting some of the enemies. So that's good news. Now we have an Emerald here turning broadside, and what will we have? We'll have a devastating strike. Isn't that just nice? So he is sticking to his plan. And he'll just keep pushing forward here. The friendlies are 1 ship ahead by this point, which isn't an awful lot, but you know, it's something. And there is the Kirov. The Duke of York is falling. The October Revolution decided not to. Bit of a shame, but it's alright. We have 2 ships here. Pushing quite nicely. There is another citadel, and down goes the Kirov. So he's up to 3 kills and 100k damage already. In a tier 6 battleship. Now those orbs are easily avoided, and yeah, that's what I was afraid of the whole time. But like, he managed to get basically to the safety of this island with the enemy only barely realizing that he was here. And yeah, well, that was too late for those enemy battleships. Now he's made it behind this island. He'll go around here and then he will emerge angled against those. Meanwhile, there is some pressure from the north. And well, you know, honestly, the October Revolution might actually get some good firing angles sticking there, so maybe it's turned out alright. He's also just trying to push B here, like they can get those enemies in a crossfire and we'll see what happens there. I mean, splitting up is still more of a risk with 2 carriers, but it's at least only tier 6 carriers. Carriers get a lot more scary in higher tiers, I feel. So up next we have 2 battleships here who will keep sailing broadside right around this island. I mean, we have seen quite a bit of broadside so far this game. Let's see if the enemies get away with it or not. So shells out, they look pretty good. Keep in mind that Russian battleships well, the dispersion isn't so bad close range. I mean, it's still a battleship, you can still entirely miss. But those ships are sort of designed to get close. Now, also, meanwhile, the carrier has realized that something's happening here and the anti-air isn't doing an awful lot. But look, the Colorado has not learned anything, he's still completely broadside. So, what can we get next? Well, 5 over pence, 2 pence. Pretty nice salvo overall. I mean, total damage value could obviously have been better. But so far, looking pretty reasonable. Now, Duke is still here, hopefully helping a little bit with the anti-air. Admiral here is getting pretty low on his hit points. And the Colorado is quite a dangerous opponent, like the shells could, for example, overmatch his nose if you were trying to nose in or there. But, you know, I don't think this Colorado will overmatch anything ever again, at least in this battle. So, there is a high caliber and a Confederate and a Kraken, and what I also find so enjoyable is that when you look at chat, he seems to not understand what's going on himself. It's like, what is this ship? I mean, he's getting here very lucky. Don't mistake that what you see here. Don't think that every game you play this ship will look like this. He's basically just getting very, very lucky with his RNG. But he's also getting rather close. And if you get close, you know, it's a lot easier to hit stuff. I've laughed quite a bit when I've watched this replay the first time. Yeah, well, I'd say it's not necessarily the ship that's the problem, but it's like he's just getting extremely lucky too. But then again, I haven't played this ship enough to say how strong it's overall, to be honest. So, right now we have a carrier to deal with, but he's getting pretty low on health, and that carrier might just be able to finish him off. Not that it matters, the friendlies are basically winning this no matter what. So, I think his strata here got damaged, so immediately took care of that. Now here, if you are in a situation like this, the turrets turn pretty slowly, right? You want to aim like here, right? You want to have your guns pre-aimed here, so that by the time the guns are reloaded, like, you can't track this carrier. Well, I mean, he got some shells off here with his rear guns, but you can see his front guns can't keep up with turning. He's turning his ship too. If he had aimed his guns like preemptively here and then just shot once the carrier sailed into it, it would have probably worked better. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. And there is a close quarters expert. Here we are with the results, and we earned himself 2,567 base experience. More than twice the amount the second in the team got, and well, he basically just shot everything and everything exploded. So in this battle he earned himself 3 devastating strikes, a Confederate, a close quarters expert, a Dreadnought, a Kraken and a high caliber, scoring 202,000 points of damage. He managed to score 13 citadels in this battle, and I thought it was very funny to watch. I hope you thought so too, and I'll see you guys next time.